Good evening and welcome to my first stream in a really long time. Okay, I'm scared to press art mode, but let's make some comic art. Let's actually get some shit done. I'm gonna put this back on again, so I'm just gonna be rambling. Let's go. Yay! Nothing crashed. Okay, so yeah, what is that #1 thing for? Purple badge. I think it means that you're like the first person in chat or something. I'm not sure, but I like it. It's great. Looks good. Right. Today we are doing page 13. Remember this? I penciled it a really damn long time ago, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be inking it. I mean, it doesn't really need inked, but a lot of the lines are messy as hell, so I'm probably going to be making this look a bit prettier. Right. I've actually forgotten how to draw. I've been doing nothing but draft pages for like the past year, and this is the first time I've actually touched the comic page in a long time. How do I even draw? Okay, this was the draft. That was the original. I think this is the first time that I'm actually doing a stream on the new PC. I've had the new PC for such a long time, and I'm so used to my old PC crashing and stuff. Thank you. The stream layout is really nice. It took me a long time to get it all working. I got it from a really good seller on Etsy. When it's not just doing drop shipping stuff, there is actually a lot of people over there doing like really nice streaming layouts for Twitch and stuff. It's really good. I eventually want to make my own graphics though, but that's going to take me a long time, and I'm gonna be fussing over that as well. But I want to make little like animated gifs of spaghetti and stuff floating around. I've got one in my VTuber setup. I might do a VTuber stream tomorrow, so I can show you guys what I've been doing. It's all really bad, but it's kind of cute in a really derpy way, so... Right. Okay, I'm gonna press the timer button. Let's see if it works. Okay, right, so focus for 15 minutes. Here we go. Where's my layers? Hey Cherry! I've not seen you all for so long! It's so good to have you all here. Honestly, I was so scared that it was going to be like my first stream in a really long time, and I'd be trying to talk to myself for like the first hour or something. Trust me, with Clip Studio, I'm constantly looking stuff up online. I never stop, and every single time I feel stupid when I learn something new because I didn't realize it. I mean, I just learned a couple of days ago that there's an entire panel on the right hand side that I can add to the menu over here, where I can put all my references and stuff in there, so I can see my refs and use a color picker and all of that, and my navigation pane as well. But I removed it for this stream because I need to see like all my layers at once rather than having to scroll tiny little screen. I'm trying to think of like everything that's happened since my last stream. And what hasn't happened. Yeah, I actually got confused because I thought that there was a huge pause in streaming because my PC broke, but no, that happened the year before. The reason there's not been any streams in such a long time was because of all the building work happening at the house. They took the entire roof off, they done the attic and everything, And I think it's like they started it in April or May last year, and it's still not finished. It's still not finished. We don't know where they've gone. It's still not finished. But I stream at night time anyway, so it's fine, but it's just there was a few points earlier on last year where I was constantly having to like run around checking on builders and stuff. It was really impossible to concentrate on art in general, which is why I was kind of doing what do you call them, draft pages for so long, because I'm the kind of artist that always needs to listen to music when I'm drawing, just to like put me in the zone, you know? And when all you can hear is like drills and banging and shouting, and it's really, really distracting. So I'm glad that's all done with for now, until they decide to return. The thing is with gaming streams though, I mean, I'm okay doing art streams because I know that I'm like half competent at art, right? When it comes to gaming streams, I'm kind of like worried that I'll be streaming and being like super judged for what I'm doing in the game. I'm not like the best game player in the world, you know? I mean, I've been playing Stardew Valley for like about a year or something now, and I have not really touched the story at all. I've just been like faffing around with the farmland and feeding chickens every single day, and then running out of time and getting knocked out and having to end up back in bed again every day. I've not made any I've not had any relationships, I've not made any friends. I've just been looking after chickens. So yeah, that's how I play that game. I think the last game I've been playing a lot was Crossworlds, and Ed got me that. Thank you, Ed. And obviously got it for nights. I'm trying to think of everything if stuff that's happened since the last stream. I had like my was it MRI or CT scan or whatever the hell it is, where you go into the giant tube and they do like a medical, like a X-ray type thing on you, magnetic scan, yeah, on you. And I honestly thought they would find something up with like my neck or my ears or whatever, but I've still not heard anything back from them. And that was like in August or something. Yeah. Weirdly, the MRI, it wasn't a bad experience. Like I thought that it would be like really scary, but I was in there quite enjoying it. It was very relaxing, and it just sounded like really bad drum and bass. And I didn't get to listen to any music. I kept hearing you get to choose like what music you want to listen to on headphones. I didn't get any of that. I got like foam earplugs and then a big pair of like noise blocking over-ear headphones. And they put my head in a cage and my chest in a cage, and they like put me into this big tube, and then I had all these like I had dye, that contrast dye, put into my arm and stuff while I was in the machine, and that actually scared me more than anything, rather than the actual scan itself. But yeah, I've still not heard anything back, so I guess I'm healthy. You know, one of the hardest things to draw is this area here, where the back of the neck meets the hair. It always really confuses me. Like, it's just a really weird kind of shaped area. You're never really sure like if you're just supposed to draw hair straight down or just avoid drawing it altogether. It's one of those things that always looks weird when you draw it. Yesterday, the day before, I decided to jump into the exciting world of smart lighting. And now I can do this with my phone. It's really exciting. Ooh. Fantastic. And it does like normal light bulb stuff as well. But I like the purple. That's like my streamer lighting. Okay, your question. I was wondering, as an artist, do you draw only when you feel inspired, or do you have a schedule? I only ask because I feel like if I draw when I'm not in the mood, then your art will turn bad. This is the thing, people talk about, like, you're apparently not supposed to draw when you feel inspired. You're supposed to always push yourself to draw because discipline is more important than inspiration, because if you start drawing when you don't want to, eventually you'll find inspiration in it. But for me, I tend to just draw when I'm inspired. But I mean, with the comic, I have to draw every month. This is what like pays my bills. If I don't work in Engelbaum, I don't get money at the end of the month. So there has been a lot of times where I've just not been feeling it at all. I mean, there's been so many times where I just didn't even want to sit at the computer, but I still had to do it regardless. But given the choice, I would only draw when I'm inspired, because I think that my best stuff comes from when I'm inspired. I mean, personally, I love just like putting music on, watching like being inspired by movies and stuff, just like sitting down afterwards and just spending a long time just scribbling ideas out. But the problem with schedules is sometimes it feels like you don't get a chance to stop and breathe to actually do the kind of inspiring stuff you want to. But I mean, I think with Engelbaum, there's only been a few occasions where I'm not happy with the way that I was sort of rushed into explaining something in the story or whatever. But looking back at it, it's not bad. I think they say it's always better to be finished than to be perfect. I mean, when it comes to any art that I'm not happy with, I can just redo it in the future. I mean, I've been changing a lot of stuff, like with the comic edits. I've been going back to chapter 1 and changing bits of art that I don't think are particularly, not necessarily good, but things that weren't conveyed in a clear enough way that might have confused people. So I'm changing things from a different perspective now, where I look at it and I think, yeah, I guess that didn't make sense at the time. And sometimes people in the past have given me critique on places like Tapas or Webtoon, and I've been like, they don't know nothing. Shut up. Let me draw. It's my comic, you know. But then it'll sit with me for about 8 months while I'm feeling grumpy about it, and then when it comes to redrawing something, I'll be like, actually, you know what? Yeah, they had a point, and I will change things. It's just like growing up, I suppose. You just learn to listen to critique and use it when it is actually useful. I don't think you should listen to critique all the time, but I mean, that can kind of like kill your inspiration as well. Yeah, sometimes, like, yeah, they do say just finish it. It doesn't matter if it's perfect, because the more that you finish, the more accomplished you feel that you've actually finished something. And it's easier to move on to the next thing. I mean, one of the biggest problems I have with Engelbaum is because it's like such a long project I've been working on for like over 10 years, like it feels like a million years, is that I've only ever printed issue 0, like the pilot issue. I've only held that in my hands and went, you know, this is a finished comic, I created something. But when you're making webcomics, it's difficult to get that kind of sense of feeling like you're actually making progress, and it's one of the hardest things to push through. You just have to keep like churning out pages and knowing that eventually, if you are going to actually print something, that it's one more bit of work that you've done, just move on to the next part, you know. But it doesn't have to be perfect, you just need to have to get it finished. And the whole perfection thing, well, getting better comes as you go along, and the more you draw, then naturally your skill level goes up. So the you from 10 years ago will look at art that you do now and think, wow, that's really good. But back then, all you can see is like the mistakes, you know? I just realized she kind of looks like she's throwing up like a Sonic Adventure pose. That was actually not intentional. See, I don't name my layers, but what I do is I color code them. So red layers are usually like inks or important things or things that I need to delete. Green I usually save for flats. So right, I have imaginary ref. Oh, you know what's really sad? I'd actually done one Meadea's ref on my old PC before it died, and it took all of the really cool poses and stuff that I'd done for all the creators, and all my refs got deleted. I still have to redo them, but it's one of those things where having to redo art just feels so defeating sometimes. It's not very inspiring. Yeah, without a doubt, my favourite thing about Clip Studio is the paint bucket tool. It's so useful. It's nothing like Photoshop's paint bucket tool where it just goes everywhere and it leaves big like lines and stuff, like pixels. It actually works. Yeah, a fill tool that works is rare. But I remember actually, like when I first started digital art years ago, like 1997 or 8 or something at school, we had these like old Power Macs or iMacs or whatever the hell they were back then. I think it was just like a floppy disk drive. There was no CD drive. Back then, there was like the first version of Photoshop, and I used to zoom in like this kind of level, and I used to get the paint bucket tool or the pencil tool or whatever, and I used to click every individual square to try and get rid of the jaggies. And people were like, yeah, if you zoom out you're not going to see it, but I could see it. So I used to zoom in so much and mess with stuff that no one's actually going to see, but I'm glad that I don't have to do that kind of stuff anymore. Like this, actually, this line here is horrible. Look how jaggy it is. I'm probably going to fix that. She says about not worrying about jaggy lines. I think one of the hardest parts of colouring comics is trying to remember, like, lore-wise or story progression-wise, how you're colouring your characters. Like, with Imagine, at this part in the story, her burnout is receding, so it's less than it was in the last chapter, but then I have to remember where I'm actually, like, how much burnout Imagine has, so I constantly have to think, hang on. Like, before I completely call a page finished, I will look at all my reference artworks and make sure I'm actually colouring things in properly. Like, I'll go back and look at the past, like, 4 pages, finished pages, just to check that I've not forgotten anything. Like, sometimes I forget makeup, or, like, with Pi and the draft pages I was putting up, she got punched by Argent, and she was supposed to have a black eye, and I just completely forgot to draw her with a black eye for, like, 12 pages of the draft, so I have to remember. I struggle with everything. I'm the most unprofessional professional you will know. With Clip Studio though, like I said, it's like you're always learning. They don't tell you half this stuff until one day you notice that some other artist is doing something that would have saved you a lot of time, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. One of the pieces of advice that people gave me I should have listened to, but never listened to advice, was try to give your main character the same costume throughout the entire story and make it really simple, because you have to draw it thousands and thousands and thousands of times and you don't want to have to be constantly looking at refs just so you can colour your character or draw your character. But I decided to not only make Imagini's outfit really kind of complicated and different shades of the same colour and stuff, but I also decided to give a lot of the characters complete outfit changes multiple times in chapters. So I'm not quite at the stage where I can just eyeball what I'm colouring in. Like, I have to keep double checking what I'm actually colouring. Do you like my t-shirt? Mistress of Mystery, apparently. Yeah, that's me. Thank you to OSC for the music. His music is so good to draw to. It's just so chill, and a lot of it's like very like my kind of aesthetic that I like. So thank you to him so much for allowing me to use all of his music catalogue. Aww, thank you. This is my chill taste in music. You should hear my actual other playlists on like Deezer and stuff. I was about to say Spotify for a second. I stopped using Spotify like last year or the year before. I was just like done with their shitty business practices and stuff, and I switched over to Deezer. Deezer is so much better than Spotify, and more of the money from your subscription goes to the actual artists rather than like 0.001 pence for 1 million plays. The artists actually get decent revenue from it. And it's also not funding, my money to the music isn't funding war crimes, so that's something else as well. I like to support companies that actually have nice ethics. Try. Kind of rare these days. Yeah, my art is super detailed, and it's not usually because I'm trying to be super detailed. It's just I get very into what I'm doing and I keep adding stuff, which is a really bad habit. I sometimes kind of think like it would have been pretty good if I developed my own art style that was super simple instead. I mean, you see these people do these huge comics with like more simpler art styles, and I love it because it's more about like the story and being like clean enough to actually figure out what's going on. I mean, there's been times where I've drawn panels and then I've looked at it maybe like a year later and I'm like, I can't tell what the hell is going on in this panel. I wish I'd drawn it simpler, but it's just my style. I can't see me changing style anytime soon. I thought about it, but it feels... I don't really like it when a comic has an established style and then it just suddenly changes into something else entirely. I prefer it when the person's like, okay, that was that project and now this is this project. It would be like if you're reading Scott Pilgrim and it like suddenly it switched to like super detailed anime style or something, you know? Tell you what I miss though. Like you think this is detailed, but I miss doing just general illustrations. Like, I think when I first started Patreon and I wasn't worried so much about trying to put out a certain amount of pages per month, I would sometimes do like really detailed single images of characters and stuff, and I don't really feel I have time to do that anymore. I'd like to take time to actually just like sit down and do like a super detailed painting of Meadea or something, you know? I think that's like that'll be my reward, like in between chapters. One day I'll get to draw a really pretty picture of Imagini doing something magical with 1 million sparkles and stuff. Aww. You'll make me cry, don't say that. Oh, thank you. My art's not perfect, but thank you. I've got a lot to a lot to learn. I mean, personally, when it comes to my art, I think that, like, sometimes people like it purely because it's nostalgic. Like, my art isn't, like, technically amazing. It's kind of, like, been the same way for, like, a really long time. And I think that, like, a lot of the community are very nostalgic, so they appreciate that I'm still around, still working on the same project. It's like a comfort thing. People know that I'm always going to be doing this, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I mean, I'm going to, like, gradually get better at it over time, but I kind of like being kind of reliable like that. I mean, I'm slow as hell when it comes to art, but I'm not going to ever drop Engelbaum because it means too much for me, you know? And it's not like, what's it called, sunk cost fallacy, where people just keep working on something because they've spent so much time on it already, so they figure, oh, I can't stop doing this now because I've wasted so many years on it. Like, I genuinely love the characters and the world I created, and I wouldn't want to give that up for anything. Like, the world could be on fire and I would still be out here shoveling out pages at the rate of, like, 1 per year. DeviantArt, wow, there's a place. God. I miss DeviantArt. DeviantArt used to be so good. Like, back when it was all, like, about community and stuff and not bloody AI and selling things that aren't art and other crap. It's really upsetting, like, to remember, like, how central DeviantArt was to artists, and it completely fell off. And the problem is like, it got too big, and when something gets really popular, you need to fund it, and that's when all the, like, VC venture capitalism stuff kicks in, and nothing stays the same because you need to be able to fund it. And it ends up being run by a bunch of suits rather than community and artists who know what the hell they're doing. It's like, I've seen it, because I've been online for so many years now, it's like I've seen it happen a million times, so I try not to get surprised or upset about it when a website or a service is the next one that everybody thought was going to be, like, the forever thing, and then it just goes the same way as every other website. It's just like life. I think it helps if you just see everything online as temporary. Enjoy it while it's there and then jump to the next thing. It sounds depressing, but I guess it's like, it's just life, really, isn't it? I remember MySpace. I actually met a lot of people on MySpace, but for me, the best social network was, back in the day, believe it or not, Facebook. Like, I made so many friends on Facebook, and before it turned into a total cesspit, it was actually really useful for connecting people, like, especially professionally. Like, I know that a lot of people use, like, LinkedIn now, but I've never used LinkedIn in my life, and I never will. I mean, when I think about, like, all the connections I have now and stuff, it was literally because back in the day on Facebook, I would think of, like, oh, who would I really like to talk to? Who's this famous person or whatever? Or somebody who's, like, work that I like or whatever. And I used to just, like, think, fuck it, just contact them, see if they respond, you know, just say hey. And every single time they did, you know, and because of that, I made so many different friends from, like, everywhere, and it's just nice. But now social media is just a completely different thing now. I think there was another website, what was it called? Before Facebook and before MySpace, I think it was like Bebo or Friends Reunited or something. I just remember my little brother was the first one to get into, like, social media. Well, on my old website we had, like, IRC and stuff back in the day, before Discord even existed, And my little brother, I think he had a Bebo page, and I remember laughing at him, being like, "Why do you want to like talk to random people online and stuff?" And wow, that was before social media. Yeah, Facebook is just full of like really angry people, like people in there who are like 102 reposting AI, racist AI artwork and stuff, complaining about everything. So I just stay the hell off there. I actually deleted my account entirely. Actually, I think the last time I done a stream, me and Digi were talking about like Facebook accounts and stuff, and he was taking the piss because I actually restarted my Facebook account because I wanted to get in contact with someone, and I deleted it again. I proper nuked it. Like, I actually got rid of everything entirely. So now I have no meta presence. That's the word. No presence on Meta whatsoever. I do not like Meta as a company. And it really sucks, you know, because I really wanted to get an Oculus Rift one day. I love the thought of having like a really cool VR headset and stuff, but when I started getting interested in it, that's when Meta bought out Oculus, and I don't know what the situation is with them now, but I'm really annoyed that they had to buy the one thing that I was actually looking forward to using. I was just waiting for the prices to come down because VR stuff is so expensive. Do any of you have VR headsets? I've tried VR once, and it was like a really cheap phone version where you put like your phone in this like headset, and it was like a roller coaster. And there was one where I was on a beach. It was like one of my family was trying it, and that itself was enough to be like really impressive to me. And that was years ago. That was like maybe 16 years ago or something, and it's come so far since then. I mean, I feel like a grandma because I've completely missed out on like VR chat and stuff. I have never used VR chat before. VR chat looks so cool. I mean, people make entire games out of it and stuff. It's like Second Life with better graphics. Oh, PlayStation VR. Yeah, when that game came out, what was it called? Dreams. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I was like, oh, this is totally my kind of thing. And I remember actually the trailer pissed me off because it showed all these like bubbles and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is this is too close to Engelbaum. People are going to think I'm ripping off this VR game. And I never got to try it, and I went to a big gaming show, and they had it at one of the booths. They were showing it off before the game came out, and I didn't get to try it there either. And now the game doesn't work anymore, does it? It's like it shut down. So that's something I missed out on entirely, and it's a shame. Yeah, I think I might need to get a new gas cylinder at some point. I mean, this is a refurbished chair. It's not a brand new Herman Miller. I would never pay like $2,000 for a chair. That's insane. I mean, I paid like 500 or something, or £400 or something for this chair, which is insane money. But you know, it's like, I've been through so many chairs in my lifetime, and I heard that Herman Miller chairs are like so well made that they never break. So I was like, well, if I buy this one expensive chair, I won't have to buy like 5 mid-range chairs in the space of like 10 years or whatever. So I feel like it's been worth it. But I still don't, even £500, like this, I like this chair. It makes your butt feel nice. You don't have like a sore tailbone anymore from sitting on like harder cushions and stuff. But I still don't think it's worth even refurbished price. I would say it's worth maybe like £300, £250 max. I wouldn't say that my posture's improved. I mean, I should be sitting back like this, but I've got bad eyesight, so really I should be kind of like... Actually, why am I not wearing my glasses? Here, I got these, and I keep forgetting I have them, and I'm supposed to wear them, and I don't even know if I can let's see, put my grandma glasses on. Wow. These make me look so dorky. They're like such a nerd. Yeah, you know, when it comes to CDs getting weird, I remember the very first time I ever seen that happen. Back when I lived in Edinburgh, my brother used to keep all his music CDs on his window on this rack that had all his CDs in it. And I remember he had this like smash hits CD collection thing, and he opened it one day and it looked like the CD had rusted. It was all just like brown rusty stuff on the CD, and we're like, oh god. And then when I learned that eventually that happens to like a lot of CDs, especially like writable CDs, not so much DVDs, but rewritables format stuff, it degrades in the space of like 10 years or something, and I'm actually kind of scared to look through a lot of my CDs, because although I've kept them in way better like temperature conditions and stuff and out of light and air and all of that, it's a really scary thought to know that one day like a lot of physical media will just stop working. So I try to like every 5 or so years try to make new backup copies of stuff. Because I didn't realise that apparently like I think SSD drives or something, if you don't turn your PC on and you've got a SSD card in your PC, over time it will slowly lose data, even if it's like been saved properly and stuff. It just slowly deletes itself because it needs the power from your PC to keep the battery in it running or something, and it just like slowly forgets what you've saved to it. So I mean, I've still got my SSD card and my hard drive from my broken PC, and I kind of would like to try fixing it one day, but it's probably blank now because I've not turned it on in like 2 years. One of the problems is if you use a paint bucket, specifically this is a print problem, but if you use a paint bucket under lines that aren't really solid, when it comes to print, see all this stuff here, you'll notice that there's like, you can see the colour underneath the lines, and it's not so noticeable digitally, but when this comes to print, there's a huge difference between this colour and that colour, so you really have to make sure that all of your inking lines are like not transparent. Yeah, something I want to do with this panel, actually, I don't know if anyone noticed it when it was the draft version, but back in the day I done this little omake comic where all the creators were like human versions, and they were visiting an art gallery, and what I wanted the creators to be able to do is to be able to like jump into paintings, or to be able to use paintings as mirrors. And I had this idea that like when they go into that painting they'll become that art style and stuff, but in this panel here, Imagine doesn't notice it, but Gala has been behind her like jumping from painting to painting, and she's like ahead of her here, and she's going to be like directly looking at Imagine, and she doesn't even know that Gala's there. So I need to draw Gala in this painting here in the background. Like, because I've been doing comic edits, I've been looking back at a lot of the pages from like chapter 1 and stuff, and those are like, I think they still kind of hold up. The inking on it is really nice, but I really like hurt myself doing those pages, and I'm just trying to be more kind of sensible, because like what I was saying earlier, it's better to be finished than to be chasing like perfection that doesn't ever exist, ever. There's always that saying, what is it? Work smarter, not harder. I still work pretty damn hard, but I take a lot of shortcuts now that I probably wouldn't have done in the beginning. Like when I started out, I used to try and figure out all of my backgrounds, all the perspective and stuff, just like off the top of my head. And I used to waste so much time redrawing lines, and like people are going to look at this for like 5 seconds and move on to the next page. So what I done was I used Second Life to plot out 3D versions of all of the areas in Engelbaum, and I use them as references now because I can move the camera around and stuff. So I built them myself and now I just reuse them. I don't actually put them in the comic itself because I kind of feel like it wouldn't, it's not cheating, but I don't think it would mesh well with my art style. It would look really obvious if I had like a completely 3D rendered background and then my characters were all like 2D. So I still redraw everything. But I know that a lot of webtoon artists do use completely 3D backgrounds, but unless you're a 3D artist, you're just gonna have to like use generic scenery and stuff that other artists might have used for their comic. And I feel like Engelbaum's got like a lot of really specific backgrounds that could only exist in Engelbaum. I don't have like any castle scenes, or imagine he's got a nice garden at one point when she's got like a big cathedral thing later on. I'm probably going to need to make a reference for that because that is going to be hell to draw. She's still going to have the Fata Morgana with all the big fancy stained glass windows that I'm absolutely just gonna make one image of and reuse a lot. Wow, I've only got 15 minutes left. Inception was a good movie, but I have only one complaint about it. It was that bloody film where every trailer after that Inception trailer had the same sound effect in every single trailer. It's like the low horn where it's like they just like reused that for every movie trailer afterwards, which is a shame because I really like the movie. It's like I heard it was about dreams and I'm like yep, and I heard it was about lucid dreams and I'm like yeah, that's my shit. I've not seen it in a really long time though. LiveJournal was good. I'm so glad I deleted every single one of my entries in there a few years ago. It's like I was doing some like internet clearing, internet hygiene, where you go through every single one of your accounts you remember of your misspent youth and you just sort of like clean up after yourself, and there's so much cringe on there. So much cringe. I wonder what's going to be next. Like, I genuinely wonder. Like, I signed up to, I think it's called Upscrolled, which is supposed to be like the hotness instead of Instagram now. I've got an account. I always do this thing where whenever a new social media appears, I park my username just in case someone else uses it before me, or like someone tries to impersonate me or whatever, so I always try to grab it just in case it gets popular and then I want to use my name. Upscrolled seems kind of spammy, but I do like the format of it. I feel like if less bots were on there, it might actually be kind of cool. Like, so far I've just seen like a bunch of like AI ladies. They always say you should draw from your shoulder, not from your wrist. But the problem is when you have a really big tablet, your arms got further to move and it feels like you have to be really super steady with your hands. Otherwise you'll end up with like shaky lines. Oh, that's her sleeve. I thought it was her hair. Oh well. What am I even drawing? Save. Yay! Let's see. So, progress for today. I got Imagine inked at the top. I got this little Imagine inked and coloured. Actually, no, I lie. I didn't ink her because she already was technically inked already. And I just re-inked this Imagine here. Not bad. Two hours work. I'm actually kind of really looking forward to doing this one tomorrow. Like I said, I was like really nervous all day, and I was really kind of freaking out, but I managed to do another stream, and hopefully it can be as regular as I ever am anyway, going forward. And like I said, tomorrow I'm going to try doing a VTuber, well, PNG tuber stream. So I won't be on camera, but I'll be doing little animation things instead. And you just have to kind of forgive the temporary PNG tuber that I've created. I will do a proper one eventually with like really nice art, or maybe I'll make Imagine or Pi or something and make like a proper PNG tuber, but for now it's just using the worst scribbles possible so people can just focus on the art that I'm doing instead of my PNG tuber. I've got my gaming setup working already. I was testing it yesterday, so maybe not for Patreon, but for general YouTube streams I'll do chill out like gaming streams, since Patreon streams are for getting art done. Since I don't think anybody wants to see me sit on my butt playing No Man's Sky for 2 hours solid. Maybe you do, who knows. Thank you for coming along today. It means so much to me as an artist, and just to have my friends here as well. Thank you so much. I will be back tomorrow. Everything working, hopefully tomorrow nothing crashes before I start up again. I'll try and fix the problem I had with the Winamp player as well. So, thank you very much, and hope to see you tomorrow. Bye. I can't remember what to press. I've got my I've got my stream deck here. Hang on. End credits. Goodbye.